The Witt Marine Company would open its doors to old ships to be dismantled and sold. However, the amount of ships that accumulated was more than they could handle. Now, many of these ships lie here in this small harbor. This is the story of the Staten Island Boat Graveyard. This bleak and post-apocalyptic scene was found at the dawn of the end of the Second World War, when the Witt Marine Company would begin collecting abandoned ships with the purpose of dismantling them and selling them for scrap. More ships were accumulating than what the Witt Marine Company could handle at first. Throughout the decades, over 200 ships were present in the graveyard. Despite this, in recent years, that number has gone down significantly. Now, only a handful of ships remain, and most of them can't even be seen during high tide. Photographer Sean O'Boyle has been documenting the graveyard since the year 1987, and he has noted how few ships remain. Each one of these ships tells a unique story, and Sean O'Boyle has collected many historic artifacts over the years. As time goes on, even the few ships that remain are likely not going to last for very long. The Staten Island Boat Graveyard isn't the only fascinating piece of history on Arthur Kill Road. Not even a stone's throw away is a small plot housing some of Staten Island's earliest residents, the Sleight family graveyard, also known as the Blazing Star Graveyard. The cemetery has its namesake for one Jacob Sleight, who died on June 20th of 1751, the oldest gravestone present in the cemetery. The other name for the graveyard, the Blazing Star Cemetery, found its name from a tavern that used to exist in the area. The entire neighborhood used to be called the Blazing Star, but now it is called Rossville, named after Colonel William E. Ross, who constructed another local landmark nearby, a replica of the Windsor Manor. The cemetery is currently maintained by the Friends of Abandoned Cemeteries of Staten Island. The cemetery was completely abandoned, and likely it wouldn't even be around to this day if it weren't for the fact that it was designated a landmark in 1968 by Staten Island's Landmark Preservation Commission. That and all of the volunteer work that goes into maintaining the cemetery grounds. Both the Staten Island Boat Graveyard and the Sleight Family Graveyard are fascinating parts of Staten Island's history. and they will never be forgotten.